Princess Tia was just like, I see you are a warrior good enough for me to go all out. And she put on the armor. I was like, it's time. It's time.
Even though, man, listen, if they come out with a second movie where they just give us that whole full fight, I'll be fine.
Definitely. There were no cutaways, definitely.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining today's council meeting. I'm Ace and McMillian, and this is the Gurren Otaku Council podcast, where today we'll be doing a spoiler review of the latest Black Clover movie, Sword of the Wizard King, officially out now on Netflix. But of course, before we get into all that, if you'd like to join me, my friend McMillian, as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. With that being said, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody. Welcome back. How you doing today, McMillian?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to talk about this movie. Let's get started.
Yes. See, Black Clover. It's been a while since we could discuss Black Clover because it has been taken away from us for at least a year now. I feel like it's been 20 years almost, but it's been at least a year. I know that much. But it's finally back, but in the form of a movie. So, Sword of the Wizard King. First impression, McMillian, go.
First impression. This movie was fast. That was like one of the things I was thinking about. Like when I first saw it, I'm like, everything is happening very fast. But I don't think that's necessarily bad for it. I mean, this was very much so like I feel like anybody who watches Black Clover knew that this was like we understand it's taking us a long time to get back to like the main stuff. Here's this movie to hold y'all off for a few. Enjoy these fights, the spectacle, all the things you missed. We'll be back with like the main story.
Hopefully.
Who knows when? Who knows when. So yeah. But that was like one of the first things I thought of. I was like, this is hella fast. But the action was good and the storyline was okay. I think it fit the Black Clover aesthetic. But
I mean, I wasn't coming here looking for a deep plot storyline. I'm coming here looking for magic and fast-paced action. That's what I got. So yeah. Hey, they delivered on that. and I mean right out the gate from the first credits of the scene. They play this nice little chronostasis little cut scene that you get to see beautifully well animated. And then you just hop right into the battle. I'm like, oh wow! So they not wasting no time, huh? We're just getting straight into it. That's what I like. And that's what I like.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Yep. Well, all right. So let's, as always, of course, we got a few items on our docket here that we want to hit up. So let's see what we want to start with here. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start with this. So I do want to remind everybody, this is a spoiler review. So once again, if you have not yet seen the movie yet, this is a spoiler review. So go check it out on Netflix. It's out now. But after that, the
Wizard King?
No, not the Wizard King. There we go. The timeline. There we go. The setting, where this story takes place. There we go. I brought it back. Okay. The setting where this takes place, and is this movie safe for anime onlys? Yes. So if you are an anime only, you're not caught up to the manga or whatnot, this movie is safe for you. You don't got to worry about any crazy spoilers or anything. Maybe potentially one thing, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But I don't really think that's a spoiler. I think they showed us that in the show already. Well, they didn't really fully pull it off. So actually, no, there is no spoilers. I'm referring. Well, if I say who it is, I guess that will spoil something for them later.
Is it a character or a thing?
Okay. No, it's a character.
Are you talking about the Vice captain?
Oh, it's okay. Well, it's okay. We just said it was a spoiler for your review. Marilona, she does some stuff later on in the chapter. In the story.
Okay. Yeah, she didn't fully pull it off, but yeah, I definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For those that don't know, look forward to it. For those that do know, right on.
So yeah, there's no crazy manga spoilers in it, so you're good to go on that. You're free to watch it. No, hands free. You're good to go. You don't have to worry about that. So That's I think that was really cool that they decided to go that route, because sometimes anime movies, they don't care about the anime onlys. They will spoil you, but thankfully they decided not to do that with this one.
Yeah. What Ace is referring to is basically in our most recent memory, the My Hero movie, like the first one or the second one, had an ability that Midoriya didn't get yet in the film, but he had at the time of the release in the manga. So that was something I was trying to look out for in this movie. I was like, are they going to tip their hat a bit in terms of, like, timeline wise stuff that hasn't shown up yet in the manga to get people hype, or
Now I heard there was some like hidden Easter eggs here and there, but I'm not gonna get into that because you can go look those up. Beware if you go look those up, because I'm not sure how spoily some of those Easter eggs can get, but do that at your own will.
Yeah. I would be careful, because if you're holding on until the anime comes back, there's some big stuff I think that this movie alludes to that you don't want to miss out. Like we already technically talked about the stuff with Mary Leon, so that's
just technically. But yeah, so the movie is safe for anime onlys. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was the setting of the movie. So technically this movie is anime canon, anime only canon, right? Yeah, we confirmed that. And Tabata did write the story himself, so he didn't hand it off to somebody else to write it. He wrote it himself, so we're good to go on that. And it takes place a little bit after
the trial.
Yeah, at the trial where we left off, so with basically right where we left off with the anime. It takes a little bit after that.
The anime did touch on the Spade Kingdom, right? Like, because I thought the last thing that happened in the anime was Asta and Yami fight off what's his name? The guy with the gravity
magic. The last thing that happened in the show was Asta training with, I can't remember his name, but his devil. Taking over his devil. And training with not, but to make a contract with his devil.
So it was a little bit after. Okay, got it. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah. And that's why I really thought they was gonna spoil stuff, and I was like, whoa, but no, they didn't. They ended up pulling off something totally new, which was surprising to me.
Yeah, and they technically brought it back then, because the devil trial was a little ways before the Spade Kingdom came and fought them. So
that's what I'm saying. It's before the Spade Kingdom arc. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It takes place before the Spade Kingdom arc, but after where the show ended, because we already got introduced to Nock, and we already got introduced to his devil. So that wasn't spoilers or anything.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I guess because I didn't even think about the Nock thing. Because when that happened, I was like, "Oh, everybody technically already seen him." But it is, I guess, in the timeline of events, that's that's his new introduction. Is
yeah. Okay, well, let's put it like this: if you're caught up to the story, there is no spoilers. So there's no future manga spoilers. But technically, the show will spoil some stuff for you if you're not fully. The movie will spoil some stuff for you if you're not fully caught up. But I mean, they're not showing anything that hasn't already been shown in the anime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's definitely correct.
Yeah. So we're good to go on that. So yes, the movie takes place a little bit right after the anime ends, and we take the story just really consists of a former Wizard King by the name of Conrad, who's came back, who was freed actually from Julius's spell. He sealed him away using time magic. But due to the events that happened during the F arc when he died, the seal got broken, and Conrad came back. He revived some other former past Wizard Kings, and now he's back to try to destroy the kingdom. So, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yep. Yeah. To recreate it in a new image where everybody is quote unquote equal, I guess. That's basically what he said he was trying to do. But he also said, "I'm only gonna bring back those who are worthy." So I was like, "Hey, are we really equal, man? What's the criteria?
Picking and choosing.
Yeah, exactly. What's the criteria here?"
Oh man, yeah, no, I feel you on that.
Just to since we brought up them though, I would like to, I guess, talk about their abilities. Conrad is fucking broken.
Broken. Like, he's almost as broken as Asta. Unfortunately, Asta, no, Black Clover doesn't have plot armor. Asta is the plot armor. So
anti-magic is the plot armor. But key magic is crazy because it's like I can lock away your book and take it at the same time
and take all your spells. So he's basically Kakashi, but inside of Black Clover.
Yeah, and on a grander scale.
On a grander scale,
because he can do stuff at the same time, while Kakashi can only copy, I think, one thing at a time.
Yeah, but he can fully take your stuff. So,
and the way he displays his abilities, I think, is really cool too. And it just shows that like it's just keys entering and like opening like gates or doors. It really was like in my head. I was like, this is I love. I don't know if this is a reference to Kingdom Hearts, but it definitely.
I was just about to say for a second there, I thought we was gonna be on some Kingdom Hearts type stuff, and his ultimate goal was gonna be to unlock a door to the heart of the world or some crazy stuff and destroy it like that.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be something like that. Like he needed, because the sword. I don't want to say the sword looked like a key because it necessarily didn't, but even like that, I was wondering if at some point he was gonna use the sword as a key and do some crazy shit. He didn't, but. That would have been cool. That's also something we technically didn't touch up on, but like in the summary of the thing, the one of the key goals to restart the world was to use this sword that basically connected you to the. It's interesting. It stored magic from all past Wizard Kings, even to like the first one.
Yes, the Avatar, but in sword form.
Yeah, and basically that was a part of his goal to use that, basically that pool of magic to recreate the Clover Kingdom or the world in whatever he so choose, because that's how he had the ability to bring back past Wizard Kings, which was I have their names right here: Princia Funny Bunny, Jester Gorandros, and Edward Avalanche.
He really named that lady Princess Funny Bunny.
I mean, it's about as funny. That's all I gotta say. Tabata's a funny guy. Okay.
Oh man, but you know what? The movie is animated so well. This just brings me hope and also a need and a want for when the show does return. Bring it back in a seasonal format, please, so we can get some love. Because they be talking bad about us on the internet, man. They be talking about us.
Do they talk bad about Black Clover? I see mostly
they be talking about. Listen, it's half and half. Of course, you know, people who love Black Clover. Then people who don't like it. Then they gotta, look at this animation. You like that? Then they gotta go to the one steal of the show that was just horrible as fuck, but the rest of it looks good. But it's just.
I mean, as a person who I mostly read, so like, because by the time I think Black Clover came out, and I don't know if I wasn't feeling the animation when it first started or not, but I decided to read it, and I just kept reading it, and I never like went back. But I do know there are certain shaky, mistakey stuff like that. But
it's rough patches here and there.
Yeah, but I mean, from what I've seen, from what I've been shown, because my best friend watches it, he had me watch like some of the filler or anime canon seasons. Or events, and I was like, okay, I mean, it's not bad, it's decent, and I can see why. I mean, like some of the other stuff is like not great, but overall, I don't think it's like a bad like it has bad animation. Hell, even if we use a movie as that, was really good in my opinion on a lot of the stuff. So.
Yeah, no, 100%. But just the movie shows, just bring us back in a seasonal format. We ain't gotta do the the continuous format, the weekly format. My bad. Just bring us back in the seasonal format. Let us get some decent animation for the entire season, and we'll be good to go.
So we talked about a little bit about this off camera, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea. The only issue I think is that you run into the same problem of. The Black Clover manga is in its final arc. It's about to end. It's about to wrap up. Animes, as we know, they adapt like 3 to 4 episodes, 3 to 4 chapters an episode. And so I just feel like if they did bring it back in seasonal, I don't know if they're trying to wait until the manga is done. That's what it feels like to me.
We got a whole arc we can adapt. Just bring it back.
True. Technically, the Spade Kingdom arc is done, but my only thing is like we left off in the middle of that. So if they do bring it back, I don't think they're bringing it. They would be bringing back long enough to satiate.
I mean, well, technically, it's like the second core of the arc, if you will, but it's still long though. It's a lot of stuff that happens in this last part of the arc.
But I'm saying like it's mostly where they left off. I'm trying to remember if what's left is mostly
they
fighting.
haven't even went there yet. That's why they left off. We haven't even went there yet.
Okay, so technically there's quite a bit. Maybe my worry isn't as big as I thought, because my thing was they're gonna get if they do bring it back, they're gonna hold on. Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you. For a second, I thought it was gonna make me look like an asshole. Like, oh shit, yeah, you actually don't need to sneeze. But what was that it was gonna come back, and that basically all they're gonna have were fights, and that was just gonna take up and that was only gonna be, there's only so much you can only drag out fights.
But
so
it's
long.
a lot of fights, and then there's multiple stages to said fights as well.
But
so I mean,
I think the thing that will actually like keep it longevity is the fact that we have it they haven't gone to the Spade Kingdom, like you pointed out, and two, they haven't. There's
that's enough for a whole season.
They haven't finished the training in the other kingdom as well. I forget.
It's enough for a whole season.
Yeah, it is. That is true. But my only worry is at the end of the season, people are gonna be same boat is like, bring me the rest. I
guess. So I mean, when you put it put it that way, considering that the manga is in the final arc, would I rather wait for the manga to finish, just so when they do come back we can just adapt everything? But then I don't know, because then if they wait for the manga to finish, when they do come back, are they still just gonna bring it back as weekly? Because then we're just gonna still have the same issues that we had to begin with anyways.
You talking about the animation being not great?
I mean, I don't doubt the height fights will still be good, animated well. But I mean, still.
Will everything be as consistent? Like, for instance, this movie. I don't know. That's a good point. That's a good point, because if they do bring it back weekly, there could be a rush in terms of animating and stuff like that. There's a lot to ponder. But I mean, if anything, I feel like the movie does. To your point, I think the movie is a good example of what they can accomplish if not put under strict time constraints.
Yeah, 100%.
Because a lot of animation quality isn't necessarily. I know people joke about budget, but a lot of it is, from what I hear, scheduling. So I feel like if they got the scheduling right, at least for the rest of the arc that they were left off in, the animation could stay consistent, because I definitely feel like it needs to for that arc specifically, because there's a lot, as you said.
But you know what? Let's get to the best parts of the movie.
Okay.
Funny Bunny versus Marilona. That was it.
So hold on, before we talk about the fight, I just want to state this. When I was watching it, in my head, I'm like, I don't need to see any one-on-ones with the Wizard Kings, and here's why. They're all Wizard Kings. Yes. And based on Julius, even in Julius's fight with the elf, the only reason he technically lost was because at a certain point they started threatening the citizens.
You know what? We could touch upon that. I was gonna wait a little bit later for that, but we could touch upon that now. I'm glad they didn't technically anybody really beat any of the Wizard Kings either, because then I've been like, well, wait a minute now, because technically these are the strongest people we done seen so far in the show, but they possibly could touch the stuff we hitting on in the manga right now, but
that was exactly my thought process when I was watching. I was like, I better not see any Asta or better not get one-on-ones without hacks, because I was like, they are not at the level where they should be able to fight these people one-on-one and win. And luckily that isn't what happened.
Didn't happen. Yeah, that didn't happen at all. Yeah, thankfully. Well, technically,
the only
Asta did get a heck at the end. But technically, Asta kind of won, but then at the same time, no, he didn't win, because when it was all said and done, he had to use the sword. So.
Exactly. That's if it wasn't for the damn sword, I would have called bullshit. but he had the sword, and the sword itself is an OPS item. So
he had a legendary item.
And now the only one-on-one we did have was Princia Funny Buddy,
and that is acceptable because she's already as badass as it gets.
Yeah, because I was about to say, LeMillion has already been stated to be near Wizard King level before in the show. Like, she's the person that introduced Mana Zone and all the things that go with it.
She's already been spoken of as, one of the persons who could possibly be the next Wizard King. But I don't think she would want to do it though, because she didn't even want to be a captain. So
yeah, I mean, she was a captain for, I don't know how, she was a captain for a while, but I forget like when
but
she stopped. Yeah. But so that one I was like, okay, that's acceptable. This is the only one that can be a one-on-one, and I loved every second of it, because at first Princia was basically just she has the ability to create like magical soldiers, and at first she was just letting them fight, and then she was like, oh, I have to respect you as an equal.
But no, because listen to me. The entire time, like from when she first got introduced, I'm like, we're gonna have to tag team her some type of way. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but this ain't no 1-on-1. But boy, was I wrong, because when old girl fell out that damn sky, I was like, ooh, I forgot about it.
I really wasn't sure if she was gonna show up in the movie until she did, because I was at first it seemed like, okay, are they gonna focus on only a handful of people? Like, are we gonna get like everybody? But they brought everybody back for the film.
I mean, what they did, they didn't bring everybody back, but they did focus on a handful of people. I think they brought back all the captains. I don't think there was a captain missing.
Well, that's what I meant, like more so in terms of like captain stuff. Like, were we gonna get our tertiary captains and all the, outside of like the Black Bulls and maybe like the the other handful, and they ended up showing up. So that's what I meant. So I wasn't, because at first I was like, who are we gonna get for this film? And we got basically, I felt like all the fan favorites. And and what a great moment for Le Million, because she just, that fight was so good.
Every time she's on the, and first of all, we don't talk about her as her rightful place as a great character that can talk shit and back it up. Because she talk mad shit, but guess what? She gonna back it up every time. Every single time she come in with them hands. It ain't no tricks. It ain't no foolery going around. It's just straight hands. Damn. These hands are ready to eat for everyone.
Everybody. And I really like the fight, because I definitely felt like it was a cool matchup at first, because I was like, okay, Steel versus Fire. Obviously, like, this is a good. She has the advantage here, but this is a Wizard King. So like, what the fuck is about to happen? And then Princess was just like, I see you are a warrior good enough for me to go all out. And she put on the armor. I was like, it's time. It's time.
Even though, man, listen, if they come out with a second movie where they just give us that whole full fight, I'll be fine.
Definitely. There were no cutaways. Definitely.
Oh man, because technically, we didn't get the full experience, but it was definitely some cool shots and stuff from that fight. And technically, at the end of it, she didn't necessarily win. She was still standing, but I mean, who's to say Funny Bunny couldn't continue going? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah. That's because that's how it felt to me. I was like, it almost felt like we hit around like what I would consider a tie, because around the point where they like stopped fighting is when Asta did that shit to Conrad and basically kind of like cut off his magic. So I would have loved, if we could get like an extended of that fight, that would be cool.
That'd be cool. I actually, you know what? Do it, Netflix. We want it. Get the people what they want. Get the people. Well, I will gladly pay $13 to go see that fight in theaters. Do it. You can pull a Demon Slayer. You can do it. You can do it.
Extend just a bit. Not a whole season, but just a bit. We just want this. This will hold us off. You want us to hold us off while Tabitha finish the manga? Just give us that. You know what? We'll be fine. We'll make do with that. Yeah, we'll make do with that. And then besides her, then you have the fight with Jester.
Yes.
And Jester, Sylvia, Yami,
the three main characters, Yami, Vermilion, and Noelle.
Oh, and Vermilion, thank you. And
well,
that was Yeah, that was a really fun fight too.
Yes.
Because what I really liked about it, because for a second I thought after Yuno had freed them that it was just gonna be easy, and that boy Jester put in that goddamn work. Let me tell you,
Jester was putting in the work the entire movie. The entire movie.
I am going to maintain this barrier and fight all of you motherfuckers. I was like, I love this because, again, as I said before, I didn't want any funny business when it came to how strong these goddamn Wizard Kings were, and they delivered.
Yeah,
they delivered every single time.
That's exactly why I'm glad none of the fights ended in like with any of our main characters necessarily winning. But besides, Asta, but there's a he had the legendary item. Okay, that's excusable. All right,
yeah.
we're not gonna count that.
Exactly,
we're not gonna count that. Because just like you said, these are Wizard Kings. Like, yes, even though we ain't we got them stronger, yes, but at the same time, y'all said y'all couldn't beat this man last time by himself. This man pulled up back with 3 Wizard Kings. It's 4 of them now. Hell no! All 4 of these guys better go out and get beaten. So, but what I really am most surprised about, and also happy about, though, that they gave the Black Clover gang a time to shine.
Yeah, I was the fight with Edward Avalanche, on the nose ass name for a fucking ice mage. Is that they got to show off their teamwork and stuff like that, and all the how they all
interact with each other, and basically do combo spells and stuff like that. It's always cool to see the Black Clovers, how they fight as a unit, basically.
Yeah, and it was really good time in terms of stuff, and even though Noelle got sealed at the end, she got her time to shine too. And granted, as Ace pointed out, there wasn't a definite we won this fight, but that just serves a point of how close they came though, and how good of a team the Black Bulls are. So
yeah, because they definitely didn't win their fight, because my boy he didn't take a single hit. He was chilling. So, he was still ready to go. Hell no, they didn't win that fight, but yeah, no, it was a good fight. And then I like how, even though back to how you were saying Noelle got her magic seal, even though she did get it sealed early on in the movie, but they were still showing how she could be useful and stuff like that, even though her magic was sealed. For instance, when she was one of the wizards helping Henry supply the base with magic and stuff like that, and other things of nature, was cool. And even when they was fighting in the field against Conrad, she was still using she could still use her magic, but she couldn't use any spells, so she was still being useful.
Yeah, supplying water and elements and stuff like that to the team. Yeah, it's a good time. And then last but not least, the fight between Conrad and Asta. I really liked, I think, how much they emphasized just how much Asta was technically out of his element, but at the same time that he was possibly the only one that could really give Conrad a run for his money, because
let me tell you. I know I'm pulling straws, and I know it's not the case. But when the first movie first started, and then we heard Conrad say Asta's line, I was like, this better not be this man Pappy. Thankfully, that was not the case.
That would be very weird to reveal his dad in a movie.
I was like, this better not be this man Pappy.
I'm not even gonna hold you. I also had that thought too. It was like, is this are they about to pull a "I'm your father" type thing here?
I was gonna immediately cut the movie off. I was gonna immediately cut it off.
Yeah, I definitely would have been upset about that too. But luckily we didn't get that. But I do like how they kind of, even though technically Asta wasn't strong enough to beat Conrad, I do like kind of how they sent Asta to fight him, because it was just if anybody had a chance, it'd be the person with anti-magic to beat the guy with all
anti-magic guy.
To beat the guy with all the magic. So that was a good moment. It even how the battle got the turn of the tide of the battle happened with a one lucky swing of Asta hitting Conrad's grimoire and basically cutting off his magic connection to the other Wizard Kings. That was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
And then we get the whole scene with the sword, the Imperial sword
The Imperial sword.
And everybody doing, please give me your energy.
Give me your energy.
Because that's all I thought about when I saw that. That was a Dragon Ball reference.
You know what? Can we talk about how OP Finral actually is?
You talking about the space maid?
Yes. Yeah, right? This man can make doors to wherever he's been. He can send you places to wherever he's been.
Yeah, no, I like Finral
without even touching you from a distance.
Yeah, no, I like Finral. I even like his arc in the story of like how his brother has basically the attack version of his magic.
He can send magic through these doors.
Mm-hmm. With a combination of it's like the combination of magic for Finral is basically what Conrad's magic was.
Yeah, it kind of is almost. Well, you could say they're similar, but not the exact same because he unfortunately, Pharaoh can store the magic. Their interest is void or whatever. But that would be kind of cool though if he ever figured that out.
Yeah, I was just saying like through combinations of magic that Finral almost like it basically can copy Conrad's, but like obviously not to a perfect degree as you stated. But if not for Finral, they probably wouldn't have won because technically the magic wouldn't have, the whole please give me your energy scene would not have happened. Like it would, Asa would have been up there with the other sword and be like, all right, now what do I do? How do I stop the planetary devastation magic that is coming upon me? Yeah. No,
it was nice. I'm glad they didn't spoil anything. I'm glad they came and gave us a new movie type form because it was pretty cool. Because I was wondering what they was gonna do for the end. I just wish the Conrad versus Asta fight was a little bit longer, but other than that, no complaints.
Yeah, I could see that. I wish, as being like the big spectacle thing, I wished it kind of was a little bit more fleshed out too. One thing I will say, I'm glad that the sword broke because in my head I'm like, all right, this sword does not need to exist anymore after this. After this,
of course, because then once we got put back to the MA, everybody's just, but what about the Imperial sword?
The sword, exactly. They would have came back and be like, I know the Spade Kingdom is a problem, but as long as they got the Imperial sword.
As long as we got the sword.
Yeah, I like
we ain't got the sword no more.
Yeah, I like how they wrote that in. Like it broke. Why they gave a perfect excuse of why it didn't exist in past seasons. Yeah. Because it was sealed away. And they gave a perfect excuse why it's not coming back. It broke. It's gone. Let's put it out of your mind.
That's the end of that.
Get out of your mind right now. It's not coming back.
It had a short shelf life, but it was a nice one.
Exactly. It was used to save the world. That's all. That's it. that's all we need.
Can't ask for any more. It did its job. It saved the world once. You wanted to save it twice now? Come on now. Mm-hmm. Come on. It did its job. It saved the world. We're moving on. All right. We're moving on. But no, the movie, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it because really, it was everything I was looking for in terms of a Black Clover movie. It's in terms of the action and the pacing. Because I know you mentioned that the pacing was a little bit fast earlier, but I think it was perfectly fine for a Black Clover movie.
Yeah, no, I think it. So I mean, I'm just saying like how fast that happened because just like if you go event by event, the beginning of the film.
Because I mean, if you watch the show, that's how it happens. We go from arc to arc on like that. There's no downtime. After we defeat one bad guy, the next one right around the corner. Oh, what y'all doing over there?
What's good? What y'all got over there? It looked nice.
It looked nice. let me come out, let y'all.
But like, I'll just say, like, even just from the beginning of the movie, we start off in a big ass, fight, right? Like, and then the way you immediately get to the present, it's like, oh, tournament. All right, the tournament doesn't happen because Conrad and the other Wizard King show up.
Immediately as the tournament starts, these boys pull up. What's good?
Yeah. So I was just saying, like, they waste like no time, and I think it fits the series.
Yeah. And then right after that, we go from the scene where we're fighting in the tournament arena to Asta, going to the secret facility or whatnot. Here go Conrad. This man, he's there. He's there. And I guess it makes sense that he knows this place exists because he used to be a Wizard King. So, why wouldn't he know about this place?
Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, but that to that point, that's such a good like detail because I didn't even think about that. I was like, of course he would know. And, like, why would he not? He used to run. He wasn't even like what 3 removed from Julius. He was like right before him. So why the fuck would he not know?
Yeah, why would he not know about this? You know what I mean? So, it made sense. But I was like, but how did you know they was coming here? But then he explained it was I heard you all talking about it. I was like, oh, okay, well there you go. No, hey, you got me. And then we got our first Conrad versus Austin. And it's pretty interesting that the fact that he can he pretty much confirmed that he could steal Austin's magic if he wanted to.
I mean, based on what he showed, all he needs to do is insert one of his like keys into a book, and then he basically got it. And since Austin's magic does come from a book,
a grimoire, yeah. But I would like to think that his grimoire wouldn't allow that to happen because it's anti-magic. But I don't know. Maybe it would. No, who knows?
Yeah, it's very. I mean, there's still it's interesting because I don't know if we'll ever like fully get an explanation of like where that grimoire came from and how it all works, because it's like it's anti-magic, but it also seems to follow
it came
the same
from
rules.
his. Well, we know his mom had it. That's about all we know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it seems to follow the same rules as other
grimoires.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Mm-hmm. So
besides it being a 5-leaf clover, but
and that you can put swords in it, and that it'll become an anti-magic sword. So that
it's semantics.
It's semantics though.
Oh man, but yeah, no, the movie was everything I was looking for out of a Black Clover movie. I wanted action. That's what Black Clover is one of the main highlights of Black Clover. Me personally, I think is one of the best new gen shonens out there because of I think it mimics like the style of like old generation animes, but still with the new style. By that I mean their fights aren't necessarily one and done. For example, our fights span episodes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they span episodes, or they span I want to say like arcs or stuff like that, because like what is it? Like the focus of an arc could be specifically like this leading up to this specific fight or this specific instance, and so like this, it can all be culminating, like such as
but even then, you get those main culminating fights in those for that season, whatever, and it's just one episode, and it's just like, well, we got all the way here for one episode. And then it don't even be the full episode, it just be the first half of the episode. So it's just like, what are we doing here? What are we waiting on? But they still be hyped though. But yeah, so I just feel like Black Clover has more of an older generation style to it, while still bringing some some of the new aspects of that shonen brings.
Yeah, especially because I think one of the new things that new shonens bring, especially ones that like fight focus, is that they give every character a chance to shine, and that's what I really like. To me, that's something I really like about Black Clover.
Yeah,
like it's like, oh, these other captains, they exist, and they're not just
they exist.
Well, because I'm just saying like. Other shonens would have probably been like, these are your
captains, and we don't get to see them really do anything unless there's something like we're attacking the headquarters, and of course they got to do stuff now.
Yeah, but I'm saying like usually with characters like that, you don't see them do something for a long time. But I feel like in Black Clover, each arc you get to see characters you didn't think were going to have a spotlight in a certain way, shape, or form. Like for instance, the girl with the sheep magic, Charmy. Or Charmy. Yeah. I didn't expect Charmy to have like a fucking badass transformation in the goddamn first season, but she did, and she was beating ass, and I was like, okay, excuse me.
Here we go. You got it.
In other shows, that would have been a throwaway character, but now in Black Clover, you get your chance to shine.
Charmy is actually a pivotal part of their squad, and because without her, they can't really replenish their magic when they need to in dire situations. She's part of their plot armor a little bit, but it's okay. Mm-hmm. She's Charmy. We're gonna let her make it. We're gonna let her have it.
We're gonna let it pass. We're gonna let it slide. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's it.
But no, that's why I love Black Clover. And it's just it's not a deep no story or anything like that by any means, but it has its interesting plot twists here and there.
What it does, I mean, I think Black Clover is good for one big reason, and it's basically it does what it does well,
and that's the fights.
It's the fights. It's the characters like always constantly growing. Like that's the one thing I really like about Clover. Also, is that each character, they'll start at this point in time, and the series won't forget about their progression.
Yeah,
they'll show you the full progression of a character, and it's always really nice.
Like people like to compare it a lot to not Black Clover, to Naruto a lot, but I actually like to I think it has a lot of resemblance to Bleach in my opinion. I see a lot of Bleach and Black Clover.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I definitely agree with that. I also, and that's why I usually compare it to too. Even like when I first started reading, I was like, I see where other people are drawing a line to like Naruto and stuff like that, because Asta as the main character is more similar probably to Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but I feel like the themes match more so to Bleach than they do to the other animes it gets compared to.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, did we touch upon the facts, right? Because
I think the only thing we didn't touch up on was the last thing that I wanted that you probably want to touch on before we get to review it, and it was Yuno and Asta.
Oh, they keep teasing this, and they do this in anime too. But they keep teasing.
At the end of every arc, it is basically teased.
They keep teasing this with Asta versus Yuno, but we're really not going to get that until the end of the series, unfortunately.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be like. I don't even know if it'll be like an end.
It's going to be one of the last fights we get.
Moment.
It's going to be one of the last fights we get.
It's probably going to be the last. Like in my opinion, I think
just about to say I wouldn't doubt it if it's the last fight we get.
Yeah, like to me, if anything, it's probably going to be like a time skip thing of like Asta, like we're holding like the qualifiers for Wizard King or like
something like that. Yeah,
King,
and they done beat everybody else, and now it's just them two.
And then that's going to be the fight that ends the series. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, not at all. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Because I mean, essentially, that's what the series has been alluding to this entire time. Anyway, hey, I'm your rival. One of us got to be the Wizard King. And as of right now, let me stop because I was about to get into some manga spoilers.
I was about to go too far.
I was about to go too far. I caught myself. My mind said, "Wait a minute, no, don't say that." I was like, "Yeah, okay, there we go." Glad I caught myself. Never mind. Ignore me. I can't continue on what I was about to say. But we're not getting that until the end of the series.
Mm-hmm.
But when it happens, though, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be. I mean, just based on. I won't say the manga stuff, but based on where they are at right now, if you are not reading, just know the shit that Asta and Yuno are going to be on probably by the end of the series is going to be fucking phenomenal. So I can't. I mean, they build it up to it, and I cannot wait to see it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, how well this is animated, and then you know the stuff that is coming. It's just like, it has to be done. They have to do it good. That's why I just wish if they do bring it, whenever they bring it back, because it's coming back. Whenever it does come back, that we just go into a seasonal format, so it gives the studio time to just work on the episodes.
That would be good, because the shit that's coming definitely needs to be tailored. It's gotta be tailored.
It has to be done well. Because like the stuff that's about to happen, some of the best parts of that stuff that happened so far in the series, and somehow the new arc is even surpassing that. Thankfully, so it's really gonna be a crazy time when Black Clover does get around to coming back. Definitely waiting for it to come back. Hopefully we get a season. Whatever announcement, I don't know if they've been numbered seasons as it was going along, but hopefully we get a series comeback announcement soon. Now that the movie done released, so hopefully they was like, hey, you can look forward to Black Clover come back to around this time frame, even if it's maybe a few months out or maybe even a year or something. Just let us know something. Let us know something. Is when can we possibly see the show coming back?
Yeah, exactly. I would like to know as well. I mean, we're coming up here, I believe, on an anime convention I believe Anime Expo isn't that far off, maybe like a month or so. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get either like a teaser of when Black Clovers come back or a full announcement. But I would like to, even though I am anime only, I mean not anime only, even though I'm mostly dedicated to the manga, I would like to know so I could time of like, oh, this fight's about to be animated.
Because you gotta see it, because it's not the same. I'm sorry, the manga is not the same as the anime. I'm sorry. This is one of the only mangas I read, and I definitely enjoy the anime experience better.
I mean, it's a that's understandable though, because this is a very fight heavy type of manga. So yeah. It's like if you so even though the art for Black Clover, in my opinion, is really good.
No, it's good.
You still want to see that shit in movement. You know,
it ain't enough movement. I don't see enough movement.
I don't see enough movement.
Not seeing enough movement. I'm done. But all right.
Yeah, we hit up everything, so I think we go ahead and rate this bad boy.
Solid 8. Solid 8. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it does everything I expected, from a Black Clover. But it's not like, this is Mugen Train. Like, you gotta go see this. But of course, you're a Black Clover fan, you gotta go see this. But Mugen Train was, I guess, if you're just an anime fan in general, go see it.
Yeah,
you know what? Take that back. I will say, if you're an anime fan in general, watch this movie because it's a good movie. I'll take that back. Ignore me. I'm just talking about my ass right now. Just ignore me.
For a Black Clover, so I don't know if I'm about to make people upset. For a Black Clover movie, I'd give it an 8. For a general movie, I'd probably like 6, 7.5. It's a very enjoyable ride. It's not a lot of substance, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
I guess that's where I was coming from. Yeah, as a Black Clover movie, yes, it's an 8. But like you said, it's not a lot of substance and stuff like that. There's not a lot of deep plot points or anything. But I mean, it's Black Clover. So what are you looking for? I'm here for fights. That's what I'm here for, and that's what I got.
I mean, the show overall, I think has some depth to it. Like,
it has some depth to it, but I'm just saying, like, it's not one of those. This happened in this chapter right here. Now it's having ramifications all in this chapter. Stuff like that.
It's not the deepest of manga or stories, but what it does well, and I think the movie only accentuates that point just on a smaller degree because it is a movie, so like everything's kind of happened like rapid fire. But it's very enjoyable as a Black Clover fan, and even if you weren't like necessarily like a big Black Clover fan, I still think this is like a enjoyable watch. So that's why I say like I think like if you're not a fan, this is probably like a 7 to you, like not too high, not too low. Like it hits a very sweet spot, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's animated well, it tells a complete story.
Yeah.
And it's a fun. Like I said, it's a fun watch.
It's a fun watch. It is a fun watch. It has a lot of cool badass anime moments in it. Who doesn't like stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like stuff like that. And then for all you lore geeks out there, it didn't break really any of the lore for Black Clover. So you're good. What there's nothing really to complain about, in my opinion.
Yeah, it only added more, if anything. It only added more lore because I don't think they ever mentioned any of the past Wizard Kings until now.
I mean, of course, Wizard Kings are talked about and stuff like that, but I don't think they're we
went
into any deep detail like this. Yeah, no.
Yeah, like for instance, because like in Naruto, the past Kages, there's a whole statue, like
yeah,
and they talk about them.
Well, you know what? Now that you mention it, I don't even know. Besides the the first Wizard King, of course, there's no like statues or mirrors or pictures or anything really of the old Wizard King.
So that's why I said. That's why I was like, if you want lore, this movie also adds lore,
That's
and
it
doesn't take away anything from
That's a good point.
The movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was just something I know.
Like that.
That was just something I noticed during the movie. I was like, wow, they really don't talk about the past ones.
The past ones, except the first one.
Yeah,
but
they did. Oh no, I was gonna say, and they did in this movie because like, what was it? Fuegolian mentions like, oh, my grandfather used to talk about Princia or something like that, and how strong she was. So I was like, okay, see, I was like, if you want more lore on the Clover Kingdom, I was like, this movie adds that, and it doesn't
look further.
And it doesn't do anything really to deter the stuff that came before. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Like you said, it doesn't like mess up the plot of the story in any ways, shape, or form like that. Like you said, it's not gonna have any ramifications after it because, like you said, the sword it existed, it was here, but no, it's gone now. We're done with that. The sword is gone.
Yep,
it's gone. But no, I really enjoyed the Black Clover movie. I'm probably gonna check it out once or twice. I'm probably gonna give it out. The first time I watched it, I seen it in a not dub sub, so I'll probably watch it again in dub. Check it out.
Yeah. I think I might do the same. But it was a good watch. If you haven't seen it and you listen to all of this, good on you, I guess. But check it out. I think it's a fun, enjoyable film.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. So, as always, guys, appreciate you for watching this listening. If you want to stay up to date on all things about the council, please consider following us on our social media. That is at Gurren Otakus on Twitter and Gurren Otaku Council on everything else. If you're an audio only listener, again, thank you for listening. Please consider sharing the podcast with friends, leaving reviews. It really helps us grow and helps you share some good content. If you're watching us on YouTube, let us know what your thoughts were on the film. Would you like to see more stuff like this from Black Clover, especially since, as it expanded the lore and everything like that? We would love to hear some of your guys' thoughts on that, as well as like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Helps us grow, helps you share content, other stuff like that. Helps get our name out there. But with all that, guys, continue to enjoy anime. Continue to have a wonderful week, and we will see you all later. Peace.